Hello! I don't know why I always have to start my lives with this ridiculous high pitch, but apparently I do. Anyways, I'm so happy to be in here. I'm so excited for all the new members. Welcome. We're going to be making super awesome roasted golden cauliflower today, which I'm excited about because it's just really, really good. And it's another vegetable that I kind of just used to only have either like out in restaurants or at people's houses because I'm just too lazy. Like, it was just too annoying to make it. Like, every time I would buy it, it would just kind of go bad in the back of my fridge because it was just like, oh man, like at the store I would be ambitious and be like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna make cauliflower. But then like when it came to, it was like, oh man, I have to like wash it and I have to chop it up and I have to like break it into florets and then I have to like check it, and it just like never really happened. So then I figured this whole little trick out, which you guys saw in the recipe, but I'll show you like all the details of it now. And so that's really exciting for me. I also would love to give you guys a little intro because there's a lot of new people here that maybe don't know about me or what I'm doing or why it's worth listening. So basically, hi, I'm Shayna. I'm a strategic nutritionist, and if you want, you can check out my website actually, which is supersimplenutrition.com. And basically what I do is I teach people how to use food as medicine so that you can heal your hormones and essentially learn how to heal your indigestion, boost your energy and your immune system really effectively, and lose weight really easily. Basically, I teach my clients how to just use food as medicine across the board, so anything you're dealing with, we basically can get under control with food, which is really awesome. Especially because we always use like healthy and delicious food. Anyways, so I just wanted to share that with you because I think it helps give context of why I'm sharing these tips with you. I'm not actually a foodie. By the way, hello, if you're on, say hi so I know who you are. I would love that. And swipe left to reveal comments. Okay. Hi. Okay. Anyways, I think it helps to give context so that you know why I'm sharing this with you. I'm not actually a foodie. I don't love being in the kitchen, but I see in my personal life and my family and my clients, you know, I have clients all over the world. I have international clients, and I see every day what a profound effect these simple switches can have. And the food is delicious and simple, which is why it's effective, because it has to be easy. Otherwise, no one will do it. Right? Like none of us have time. I should turn off the light behind me. Is it light enough? I hope so. So none of us really have time to do something that's going to be complicated. So there you go. Anyways, okay, so this is what I'm going to show you. So here is my frozen cauliflower. I want to tell you, the light's so weird. Okay, I want to tell you guys one more thing also about using the frozen cauliflower. Hi, say hi, tell me where you're from. That someone's asked me like, oh, normally I roast it at 450. I feel like 350 is not high enough. You know, it really just kind of depends. I find it can't come out bad. If you like it crispier, then higher temperature for shorter is probably better. But it depends on how big your florets are. Like if you have like the little teeny florets, like sometimes they come really teeny, then you do need to do it higher. But if you have really huge florets, then if you do it on too high of a thing, then they'll just like burn and the inside still doesn't cooked. So you kind of just have to eyeball it. But like I said, even if you mess it up, like even if they get a little burned or even if they're a little mushy, they're still really good, and everyone always finishes it really fast. So that's kind of how we roll. Okay, there you go. Okay, so here we have my bag of frozen cauliflower. I either get it, where do I get it honestly? I either get it from Whole Foods or I get it from Costco, or if they don't have, then I'll go to Trader Joe's and I'll just get the bagged ones even though it's not frozen, so then maybe I'll just like check it real fast. But usually if I'm doing the frozen, then it makes my life easiest. Anyways, okay, so I'm just gonna rip open the bag like so, and this is another trick. If you want right away, you can just like dump it onto your cookie sheet, but then your hands get really kind of gross and stained yellow from the turmeric. So first, I just actually pour it into a Ziploc bag. I'm doing 2 bags today because, of course, it's really good and we always finish it really fast. So there you go. This way, we're also preventing dishes, right? Okay, so now, any of you who've been in this group for a while know I don't really measure anything except for salad dressings. So I gave you guys the measurements, but this is how I do it. I just kind of pour. So this is the extra virgin olive oil. This is my favorite one. It's the Costco one. It's the organic Costco one because it's been third-party verified. There's a lot of olive oils on the market that claim to be extra virgin olive oil, but when they're tested, they're not. Like maybe they're a little bit, but they're mostly canola oil or grapeseed oil or whatever it is, and they add flavors and food colorings to it to make it taste like olive oil, but it's not. So it's important to have one that is third-party verified if you want to be that focused on it, which to me it's valuable because fats make a really big difference in health. And it's a really good deal, so it's not even like annoying to do. Okay, so first I have the oil on it, and I'm gonna just like shake it up in the bag. If you wanted, like I said, if you wanted to just do this on the pan with your hands, you totally can, but like then your hands get yellow for like a day. It's kind of annoying. Anyways, I definitely do it sometimes, like when I'm out of bags. But you see, I didn't even like mix it up perfectly. It's fine. So this is my salt. I use pink Himalayan salt, which is really good for you and high in minerals and won't affect blood pressure. So if you're someone that's like on a low sodium diet, obviously talk to your doctor. But I can tell you that the whole reason that people stay away from salt is because regular table salt really negatively impacts blood pressure and a host of other health issues. But unrefined salt that's really rich in minerals and comes naturally from the earth is actually wonderful for your health, and it's not something that you need to minimize. Okay, so that's the salt. Here's the turmeric. You can use whatever brand you want. I just kind of shake it on there. The garlic powder also gives it an awesome flavor. Shake, shake, shake. And then, honestly, I just put a little pepper because I don't want it to be too spicy for my kids. But also, sorry, the lighting's weird. The big reason that I add the pepper is because for any of you who've heard about the health benefits of turmeric, that it's very anti-inflammatory and has a lot of medicinal properties to it, but they actually don't get activated unless you have another compound. Snap, the name, I think, I can't remember the name of it right now, but I know that it's found in black pepper. And so anytime I'm cooking with turmeric, which is kind of frequently because I like it, but also it's really like a mild flavor and it's just really healthy, so I add it into a lot of things wherever I can. I'll also just put in like a little bit of black pepper to help activate its medicinal compounds. Okay, so here you go. It's all in there. And I'm just going to shake it up like a Polaroid picture. So who's on? Do you guys have any questions? Hello? I would love to answer your questions. That's why I'm here. My pleasure to do this. I don't know if you can hear me as I'm making all that noise. There you go. Okay. See, it's getting all dirty in there, but my hands are fine. Okay. Okay, now I'm just dumping it on my cookie sheet. You can see my cookie sheet's actually dirty because this is I made roasted, what is it called? The little balls. I made them with you guys before. The, what are they called? Someone chime in. The little Brussels sprouts. We did a live with it like a couple months ago. So anyways, I made those a little right before we hopped on, and I'm just using the same pan. And you don't have to wash, like, I'm using the same like parchment paper because like why should I use fresh? It's all fine. So here we go. So there we go. We have our big pile. Now, if you are a person that really likes it crispy, then I would recommend, hold on, sorry about that. Okay, let me just flip the camera around for a second. Okay, I would recommend that you put that in two platters because it's all really close together, and so when it's really close together, then it kind of steams also as it roasts. And so if you don't like it mushy at all and you want it crispier, then I would separate that into two platters so we can get crispy. Again, in my family, we don't care. It comes out so good, like no one is upset by it. We all eat it really fast anyways. If you're like really a stickler for crispy and you really, really, really want it crispy, then I would say just buy the bagged fresh. Don't use the frozen, because the frozen always is like a little bit not as crunchy, no matter what you do. But again, it's a compromise I'm willing to make constantly, because everything just comes out really good anyway. So if I'm going from like a 10 to a 9, but it makes my life like 1,000 times easier, which it does because I don't have to wash it or check it, then I'm totally worth it to me. Okay, so I want to have this done really fast, so I put my oven on 450. Want to see? There you go. Oh, no, did I mess it up? I tried to. Okay, see, there it is, 450. But if I wanted, often the reason honestly that I'll do it on 350 because I'm cooking something else in the oven at the same time. So if any of you are like fancy chefs and you're like, oh no, I would never do that, then like, awesome, good for you. That's great. But I am not a fancy chef and I just like to have things done fast and easy. So I often will like throw things in at the same time. But the point is that I'm telling you is that it comes out and it works. So if any of you have any questions about, oh, I told you I'm going to tell you more about it, and so I need to. Okay, so I even wrote notes so I wouldn't forget. Okay, so I said it'll promote weight loss, clean your liver, aid in digestion, and boost your immune system, and all of that is true. So for the first one, how does it promote weight loss? There's a couple things. So, oh, also, and I said one more thing that I'll tell you about. One of the big reasons that we overeat is because we're not getting enough nutrition in our food, right? So you could eat an entire bag of like salt and vinegar chips and be like, oh my gosh, that was so delicious. But then like you feel really gross afterwards, but then you're also still hungry, right? And that's because your cells literally are still hungry, right? We're not computers. We're not like math equations that like calories in, calories out. Like we're much more of like a chemical reaction, and our cells have real needs for nutrients. And sorry, I'm so futzing with my hair today. And if those needs are not met, then we still are going to be hungry, right? So you could eat like 10 pounds of cake you could eat, but you're not going to eat like 1,000 pounds of cauliflower, or you're not going to eat like 10 avocados because they're very nutrient dense. And so you actually feel like you got your needs met. So by eating cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower, especially with the turmeric and the olive oil, because a lot of the vitamins in cauliflower are fat soluble, which means that in order to digest them and in order to absorb them, you actually need to have them with some fat, because otherwise they're just going to kind of go through your system and you'll make nice expensive pee. Which happens also with a lot of multivitamins that you can't absorb. Like a lot of you probably notice if you take multivitamins, it makes your pee like bright yellow because you're not really absorbing much of it. Food you absorb much better. But anyway, so that's one of the, so basically it curbs your appetite, and also there's like a good like bulk to it also. And so it really keeps you feeling full without having to like eat an insane amount. Number 2, it cleans your liver. Most vegetables are very, very detoxifying. Generally, honestly, it's the dark green ones that are the best at detoxing, but cauliflower also does a really good job. And that actually also relates to the weight loss, which maybe I'll explain later. I've explained it before, but I'll explain it again later. Unless you want, I'll just tell you right now. That basically, when your liver is at capacity with toxins, then it protects you from losing weight. Because why? How does that make sense? How does it protect me from losing weight? Because we store toxins in our fat tissue, right? If there's too many toxins in our blood or in our liver, we'll store we'll store the toxins in our fat tissue. So then even if we're doing other things that are good for us and are helping us lose weight, our body will hold on to it because it doesn't want to release it into the bloodstream. So one of the things that we can do is clean your liver by eating a lot of really dark green vegetables, and cauliflower is also really good for it. And it cleans the liver, and then it's able to clean your blood too. And then your body's able to let go of the fat that you're trying to lose, because now it's not unsafe for all those toxins to get into your blood, because your liver's able to flush it out again. So that's kind of like the short version. I hope that made sense. Also aids in digestion because it has a lot of good fiber. I know a lot of times one of the reasons that a lot of people are constipated is they're just not getting enough fiber. But what's also really interesting to me is most people associate fiber just with like whole grains. But really for the majority of people, they do a lot better getting their fiber from vegetables, like kind of more fibrous vegetables like cauliflower or kale or broccoli or things like that. Or even like romaine lettuce has a lot of good fiber in it. And the other thing is it boosts your immune system. Why? Because again, it's very, very nutrient dense. It also has a lot of vitamin C, which I think probably everyone knows boosts your immune system. But again, when you have a lot of nutrition available to you, your body is able to allocate it to the things that are less essential for life, right? So if you only have a little bit of nutrition on your plate, your body's gonna like focus on making sure you don't faint, right? It's gonna make sure that to allocate that, what it needs to your brain, your heart, and your muscle tissue. And everything else kind of gets like, has to be on standby, so to speak, because it has to prioritize. But when you eat in a way that you have a lot of nutrition available, then you don't have to like budget in such a way, so to speak, inside of your body, and your body's able to give it everywhere that it's needed. And so one of the first places that it will do that is to make your immune system strong and send all of that extra, not so to speak extra, but all of that abundant nutrition to your immune system. So isn't that really cool? I think so. Okay, and the other thing I was gonna say, last piece of it, is that it's important when you're eating cruciferous vegetables, and those of you who watch these probably have heard me say it before, that it's important to have them cooked and or fermented. Fermented is not a word. Fermented. So that means that you're either cooking your cauliflower and your broccoli and your kale, or you're fermenting them, like with cabbage also is cruciferous, because it also has something in it called goitrogens, and goitrogens are neutralized in the cooking process and the fermentation process, but if not, they mess with your thyroid. And so if you don't have any thyroid problems, then I wouldn't worry about it. Like, you know, sometimes, like I don't have any thyroid issues, so if I'm at your house and you made a salad and there's raw cauliflower in it, I'll eat it and like it'll be fine. But if you're a person who has like an underactive thyroid or an overactive thyroid, or you're on Synthroid, or whatever the issue is that you have thyroid issues, then I would encourage you to be more careful about that and not have any cruciferous vegetables that are just plain raw. So I hope that's really helpful. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below, tag me, ask me. And also, if you have any personal questions that you don't want to do that with, or maybe a little bit more complex, also feel free to, you know, reach out, private message me. I'm happy to help in any way that I can. I have clients all over the world. I get a lot of questions, a lot of like, oh, I'd love to work with you, but like I'm in Australia, I'm in Israel, I'm in New York, is that okay? Yes, that's totally fine. I have clients in Europe and in Texas and in New York and in Australia and in Israel. It really doesn't matter where you are, the work, it's just as effective. So again, whatever questions you have, I'm here for you. I'd love to see you succeed and feel awesome, and be able to really, you know, strategize to make your food work for you so that you can feel awesome and avail yourself to the things that are really important and that you really care about. You know, like I mentioned before, I'm not a foodie. I'm not like, you know, like, oh, isn't fresh better? I'm like, yeah, but I won't make it fresh. So like, forget it. I just really care about the results and feeling better. And the whole reason I do this is I love to see people really be available to put your energy and focus into the parts of your life that are really meaningful for you, and not be like held back because like, you're not well, or you have chronic migraines, or you have PMS, or whatever these things are that we don't like to talk about, but unfortunately are very, very common, but fortunately are very, very healable when we're willing to look at addressing it with food. And I'm sure there's other ways too, but this is the way that I do it. Anyway, so I hope you're all having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah, bye.